Prior to working on any plant or equipment, it's important to ensure that it's safe to work on. To do this, the Pertec 12-step isolation procedure must be followed. Step 1. Identify isolation requirement. Most plant or equipment have designated isolation points to allow for safe maintenance and to prevent uncontrolled startup. You will need to identify the different isolation devices that may be present on the machine you are about to work on. These can include dedicated battery isolation switches and lockout isolation points. Other hazards you must be mindful of are suspended loads and crush points. Step 2. Advise relevant parties. In the event that multiple people are working on or operating a machine, you need to notify them. In this case, you also need to advise the client that their machine will be out of service for the time of the repairs. Step 3. Isolate and secure energy sources. Before performing any work, be sure to complete your Take 5 checklist and only proceed with the job once all risks have been cleared. Eliminate any suspended loads and ensure you have a safe work environment. Turn off the machine and remove the ignition key. Write up an out-of-service tag and hang it in a visible location. Isolate the vehicle to prevent any possible startup, as well as manually relieving any residual pressure. If the pressure gauge still has a reading or the machine functions operate, it may be an indication of residual pressure still in the system. In this case, it indicates the presence of an accumulator. When relieving pressure in an accumulator, you should always refer to the manufacturer's instructions and be trained to do so. An accumulator provides reserve pressure to a particular function of a machine even after it has been switched off and isolated. There should be a dedicated pressure gauge and drain valve incorporated in the accumulator circuit to assist the technician with the isolation. Should the accumulator not have a dedicated drain valve, the nitrogen charge pressure in the accumulator needs to be drained. This must be done by a trained and qualified technician and by using a specialised charging kit. Step 4. Test the effectiveness of the isolation. This step requires you to test whether the machine has been properly isolated with no remaining residual pressure. You can do this by attempting to start the machine as well as checking for working pressure readings while manipulating the vehicle. Step 5. Apply locks. Once the machine isolation has been confirmed, apply locks to ensure nothing changes for the duration of the job. Pertec provides its own locking equipment, although certain sites will require you to use their preferred systems. Step 6. Commence work. When working on any job, you must always exercise caution and remain mindful of your environment and any changes that may occur. Step 7. Complete work. Complete the job as per the required specifications. This may include following specific work instructions, safe work method statements, or maintenance manuals. Step 8. Check work. Always be sure to check your work and make sure all fittings are tight and all covers and clamps have been refitted. Step 9. Clear area. It's very important to leave your work area clean and as you found it. Clean any spills with a spill kit and remove leftover rubbish and rags from the site. Step 10. Remove locks. In preparation to restore the energy, remove the locks initially put in place as well as any out-of-service tags and notifications. Step 11. Restore energy. Unlock the isolation points and ensure the machine is in park to prevent any unplanned movement of the machine or its functions. Then start the machine to restore the energy. Step 12. Check operation. Check the operation of the machine, paying particular attention to the job that was completed. Look for any leaks and operate the function in its full range of movements. Ensure the hose does not rub, kink or get damaged in any way to avoid premature failure. While checking the job, you must always be mindful of any suspended loads, pinch points or crush points, and be aware of your surroundings. If at any point during the inspection more work is required, you must repeat the isolation procedure to ensure your machine or equipment is safe to work on.